in the QBO gym. And the QBO gym is a place where we have numerous hands-on exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Each month covers a variety of new topics and scenarios. And to make it a little bit easier for you, we break it down into 4 different sections. So if you're looking to work on your bookkeeping skills, this is the place for you. And if you'd like to do some of these on your own and do a little bit more of a deep dive, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you have to do is just click on the link in the description after we go through the exercise. But let's go ahead and get started. The exercise we are doing today is being pulled from our April Year 1 Strength Training section, where we're really focusing on those billable charges. At the top here is an animated video to give you a synopsis of what is going on in Craig's world this month. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is an interactive pre-assessment quiz that relates to the video up above. Below that are all of the exercises in this section. And at the bottom here, after you have gone through all of the exercises in this section, you will have unlocked some marketing sample posts that you can use on your LinkedIn to share with everybody what you have learned so far. So let's dive into today's exercise where we're once again going to practice collecting charges on week 3. So if you click on this link, the exercise will pull up for you. I have it over here on the right side of my screen, so let's read through our scenario. Red Rock Diner called again. Although the pests seem to be under control, thank you, their fountain doesn't seem to be working. Craig sent John Johnson out to take a look, and he discovered they needed a new pump. Craig charged them for the pump as well as John's time. John spent about 45 minutes there, and Craig charges $75 per hour for repairs. Also, Weiskopf Consulting asked Craig if he would be willing to get them a garden gnome. So you will need to be in the same session of the sample company that we did the previous 2 exercises in. If you have not completed those yet, go ahead and click on the link on the top right corner of your screen. That'll take you to the first one, complete that one and the one after that until you get back to this one. All of the exercises in this section build on each other, so it's really important to start with that first one. I have the sample company pulled up here on the left side of my screen. This is the last page that I left off of from the previous exercise. So let's get started with the exercise. The first thing we're going to do is add in John Johnson's time. So we're going to click on the plus new button and then select single time activity. So the plus new button is on the top left corner. Go ahead and click on that. And then under team, you want to select single time activity. We want to confirm that the date is today's date in order to keep the dates consistent with the delayed charges. Mine is defaulting to today. Yours should also do the same. In the name field, we want to select John Johnson since that is who it is for. So just click that down arrow in the name field, and John Johnson is the second one on the list. Go ahead and click on his name. In the customer field, we want to select Red Rock Diner since that's who this is for. So click on the down arrow. You can either scroll or you can type their name. Either way is fine. Once you find their name, go ahead and click on it. And then let's fill out the rest of this. So in the service field, we want to select maintenance and repair since that's what he was doing. I'm going to click into it and then go ahead and start typing in. I spelled that incorrectly. There we go. Once you find maintenance and repair, go ahead and click on it. This is a billable charge, so we're going to click on the checkbox next to billable hour since we are charging that back to the customer. And in the billable rate field, we're going to type 75. So click into that field, type 75, and then we need to enter his time. So in the time field, we're going to type this colon 45. So do that. You could have alternatively typed in 0.75, which QBO would have converted into 45 minutes since that's how long he spent doing it. In the description field, let's add a little bit more information about what this was for. It was to repair the fountain pump. So let's go ahead and click into that and type repair fountain pump. repair a fountain pump, and then we are all done entering in John Johnson's time. So let's click on the green Save and Close button, click that down arrow, select Save and Close, and now that time has been saved. Next, we'll purchase the garden gnome from Tanya. This is what Weiskopf Consulting had asked for. Craig wants to mark up the price of the gnome when he sells it back to Weiskopf. If this were a product he typically buys and sells, the markup would simply be the difference between his cost and the sales price. So how do you include the markup for this item, which isn't in the products and services list? For that, we'll need to go to the account and settings. So to do that, we're going to click on the gear icon and then select Account and Settings. So the gear icon on the top right corner, go ahead and click on that. And then under your company, select Account and Settings. Now we want to go to the Expenses tab. So that is over here on the left side. Once you find it, go ahead and click on Expenses. And then we're going to click somewhere in the Bills and Expenses section to make it editable. And now we want to make the adjustment here for the markup. Now notice that Make Expenses and Items Billable is already turned on. That is this one right here. This is what will allow you to check the box on the expense for Tanya's nursery in the first place. In order to include a markup, however, you will need to check the additional box. You can set a default rate here, or you can just set it on the invoice. So on the markup with a default rate, we're going to click on that checkbox. So that is right here. Go ahead and click on that. And then we're going to type 10 in the text box right next to it, meaning that it's going to mark up 10%. That is the default rate. You can always adjust it, but as the default, that is what we're going to select here. So go ahead and click on the green Save button. And now that has been updated for us, and we can go ahead and click on the green Done button. That's on the bottom right corner of the screen. Go ahead and click on that. And that setting has now been saved. And now we can go ahead and create the expense. So on the top of the on the top left corner of the screen, we're going to click on the plus new button and then select expense. So the plus new button, click on that, and then under vendors, select expense. Let's go ahead and fill this out for Tanya's nursery. So in the payee field, we're going to select her name. Click on the down arrow. You can either scroll or you can type in her name. Either way is fine. Once you find it, go ahead and click on it. We're going to leave the payment account as is. We'll just assume that he paid with his checking account or his debit card. So we're going to leave that as is. And then QBO has already filled in a category based on the last expense for Tanya, which is right here. We're going to leave this as is. Notice that it is extremely important that you add the garden gnome description in this step, and you'll see why in a future exercise. So let's make sure that we add that right here. Click into the description field. Go ahead and type garden gnome. In the amount field, we're going to type $20.99. So click into that amount box, type $20.99. And then in the billable field, we're going to click on the checkbox that is right here because this is going to be billed back to Weiskopf Consulting. And you will see that as soon as you do that, there is that 10% markup. So in the customer field, we want to select Weiskopf Consulting, click into it. And if you scroll down towards the bottom, it is the last one here. Go ahead and click on their name. And now this expense has been saved. We can go ahead and click on Save and Close. That is the green button on the bottom right corner. Go ahead and click on that. And now that expense has been saved. All right, so now that we have done those things, added in the time and done the expense, now it is time to enter in all of those charges. So we're going to click on the plus new button and then click on delayed charge. So go ahead and click on that plus new button and then click on delayed charge right there. And let's go ahead and fill it out. The first one is for cool cars. So click into it and then click on cool cars. And notice that this is the information from the last time that we created the delayed charge. Once again, this is a setting that can be turned off in the account settings, but if you're doing a lot of the same delayed charge, it will definitely save you a lot of time. As you can see, we are all done with this one, and so all we need to do is just click on Save and New because we are going to do more delayed charges. So click that down arrow, select Save and New, and that delayed charge has been saved. Let's go ahead and fill it out for Duke's Basketball Camp. Click in that customer field, select Duke's Basketball Camp. All of the information from the last week's delayed charge has been populated. This week, however, the only thing that they had was weekly gardening. So on the trimming line and the soil line, we want to click on the trash can icons. Those are right here. The second line has the trimming. Click on that trash can. And then for the soil one, click on that trash can. And now we're only showing the gardening service. We have more to enter, so let's click on the Save and New button. That's down here on the bottom right corner. Click on that. And that has been saved. And now we want to fill it out for just Jalopies. So click into that customer field, scroll down or type in his name. Once you find it, click on it. And here is all the information from the last week. They didn't get any additional services, so this is all good to go. We're going to click on Save and New. So click on that green Save and New button. And now that delayed charge has been saved. And now let's move on to Red Rock Diner. So in the customer field, we're going to select their name. I'm going to go ahead and type it in and click on it once I find it. And as I mentioned here, the delayed charge date, we're just leaving it as is for the purposes of this exercise. But in a real life scenario, you want to make sure that that delayed charge date matches the date of the service. So let's continue on with this. You'll notice that the QBO is automatically populating the information from the last time. Now, John's time has already been recorded, so it does not need to be included here. However, Craig is charging Red Rock Diner for the fountain pump, so we need to add that. But first, we need to remove the pest control service because they didn't have any this week. So click on the trash can icon right there. And then on that new second line, we're going to click in the product service field, select pump. So click into it. You can either click on the down arrow and scroll. It's the third one listed here. Once you find it, go ahead and click on it. The rest of the information will appear for us. So we are all good here. We have one final delayed charge to enter. So we're going to click on Save and New. That's the green button down here. So click on that. That delayed charge has been saved, and now let's go ahead and fill this out for Weiskopf Consulting. Click into the customer field, go ahead and scroll to the bottom of that list, and you will see their name. Go ahead and click on it. Once again, QBO is automatically inserting the information from the last time, and we don't need to add the garden gnome here because we have already set it up as a billable charge, and you'll see how this all fits together in a future exercise. So this is the end of the delayed charges for week 3. We don't have any further ones to enter, so we're going to click on the down arrow next to Save and New to select Save and Close. So click that down arrow, select Save and Close. And there we go, that delayed charge has been saved, and now we have entered in week 3 of all of our delayed charges. Now, if you like this exercise and you'd like to do more like it, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is just click on the link in the description. If you'd like to stick around and do our week 4 of our delayed charges, be sure to leave this session of the sample company open, and I will see you in the next video.